At the end of this video, you're going to understand why you've been struggling to increase your income, because you went private, you went independent, but you're still struggling. What is the reason? To solve the problem, you need to first of all know what the problem is. Then number two, how do you solve the problem? We're going to talk about how do you solve these problems we've identified, and how solving this problem will help you go from where you are right now in terms of your income to the increased income you want to achieve. And then thirdly, we're going to show you the 5 things you must do in the process of solving the problem. The 5 strategies you must put in place, you must execute while solving the problem, so that you can actually get results. But most importantly, the last one is the next step that you must take, the action steps that you must take so that you can start getting results. Okay, great. Now, one last thing I need to add here before we get into the real deal. First of all, get your writing materials. Very important. Very, very important. If you don't have it right now, I'm going to take a pause and wait for you to go get it. Okay, good. So now you have it. Great. Now, the reason why you need to have your writing material is because in this process, you're going to be learning stuff. You're going to have mental transformation, mindset transformation, number one. Number two, you're going to start seeing your experience and your skill in a different light, because what you have is premium value. Trust me, you just probably don't know yet. Or maybe you know and you're not just being cognizant about it. You're going to see it in a different light. That number three is that you're going to start knowing how to now implement and approach clients, your profession in general, based on what you will discover. And these things, you will need to take them down, because the truth is, if you think you're going to put everything in your head and try to remember it, you see, ideas are like birds. If you don't jot them down, they're going to fly away, right? So write them down so that they will stick. If you forget, you can always reference it on your notes where you've written it down. Now, also, and most importantly, I am going to give you some exercise in the course of this process. Now, for those exercises, you will need to perform those exercises immediately. Yes, I mean like immediately after you watch this video. You need to perform those exercises. And you're going to be like, dude, I don't even know you from anywhere. You're giving me exercises and mandating me to perform it. Yes, except if you don't want to achieve results. Except if you don't want to achieve an increased income, then you can forget about it. And it's okay. I'm not where you are. I can't hold you accountable, right? But if your intention, or you're really, really serious, honestly, you want to get results, then you should perform these exercises. So when you perform these exercises, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to have an opportunity to book a clarity call with me or with one of our high-level coaches in our team. Now, what is the clarity call about? The clarity call is to help you refine your responses, your response to the task or exercises I'm going to give to you. And it is important we help you refine it, because that creates or unlock the door in the journey, for the journey you're about to embark. Now, that is number one of the actions that's going to happen on the clarity call. And number two is that you're going to have opportunity to ask all of the questions you have in mind. I'm pretty sure that as we go through these processes, you're going to have questions in your mind. You're going to have some objections. Like, a lot of stuff is going to be happening in your mind. You're going to be having battles happening in your mind. No, this is not possible. This guy is saying rubbish. How is this possible? How can I implement this? All of those questions you have in your mind, bring it on the clarity call. And you know the good thing about the clarity call is about one-on-one, you and me, no other person there, or you and one of our high-level coaches in our team. So you'll be able to freely ask your questions and get tailored custom answers based on your situation. So the clarity call is extremely important. And lastly, the cherry on the top of the cake is that in the clarity call, we're going to recommend the best next step of action that you need to take. Again, I'll say this. If you know all of the stuff you're going to learn now and you do not take action on them, honestly, you're not going to get a result. And it's better you don't even start this journey than starting it and not taking action. Because without action, there's no result. There's always a cause that creates an effect. One of Newton's laws of motion states that all objects stays at the state of rest, paraphrasing, until a force is applied. So if you want to get a result, you must create the cause that would create that outcome, the effect, the result you want to get. And that is what action And that's your skin in the game, taking the right action. And our responsibility is to recommend based on your responses to the exercise I'll give to you, right? Your responses will recommend, based on that, will recommend the best line of action for you to take that will work specifically for you. So this is not generic. This is specificity based on your situation. Make sense? Great. Now let's get into business. Just to ensure that we're on the same page, you are an experienced care professional, which means that you can either be a nurse, a registered nurse, or LVN. Let's just put it a nurse. You're either a licensed nurse, right? Or you are an experienced caregiver, CNA, PSW if you're in Canada, and so on, HHA, and so on and so forth, right? So let's just use a licensed nurse or an experienced caregiver. So, and you decide to go private, and you decide to operate privately or work independently for one reason. And the reason to you is that you want better income. You want to increase your income. Or isn't that the reason why you went private? To have better income, to increase your income. And why is the reason? If that is the reason, then why do you want to have an increased income? Like, honestly, for real, I'm asking you, for real, why do you want to have an increased income? Why do you want to earn more? Because for you, you believe that going private will give you the opportunity to earn more. Great. Now, I like Joanne. I met Joanne a couple of weeks ago. And Joanne was like, I work privately right now as a registered nurse, but I'm struggling. I'm like, I don't understand. Help me understand your situation. And she was like, you see, I have this dream, this goal I really want to achieve. And for me to achieve this goal, I need to increase my income because currently my monthly income is not giving me the opportunity to achieve that goal. I'm like, okay, so you went private, right? And she was like, yes, that is primarily the motivation for me to go private. Outside the fact that working in care homes and hospitals was literally draining me, taking so much of my time, having less time for my family and some other stuff I love to do. But most importantly, I just want to increase my income because with working with institutions like the care homes and the hospitals, how much I am able to earn per month is limited. There's a limitation to it. There's a ceiling to it. So I believe that going private or working independently will help me achieve much more, give me control, and give me the liberty to, earn more. I was like, yeah, that's correct. That philosophy actually, for real, practically is true. So I was like, so why are you struggling? She was like, well, I started working privately, and then I discovered that getting clients is not as easy as I thought. And that is the most predominant bottleneck for me. And I was like, hold on, explain it. So she said that she's been trying to get private clients. She's been trying to get clients that will pay her a certain amount per hour so that she can increase her income. And that's where I stopped. I was like, hold on, Joanne, you're missing this. Really? Like from what you just explained to me right now, you're missing it. And then I explained what is called a trap opportunity to her. And I want to explain the trap opportunity to you because for you, your story is like Joanne's story. You have a goal you want to achieve. You have a dream. You have a desire that you want to achieve. Maybe for you, you want to get into real estate. You want to invest in real estate. You want to own properties, right? Maybe for you, you want to pay up your student loan or some kind of debt that you're in, right? Maybe for you, you just want to help your family get a better life. Or maybe you have someone who medically needs help and you need to raise money to be able to help the person medically and all of this stuff. Like it could be anything. Your motivation, your desired outcome could be anything. And because you have that goal, so we're going to put it here as, let's use this as the goal. You have a goal you want to achieve, right? You have a goal you want to achieve, and you think about what is the best possible way to achieve this goal. And you realize that if I have money, an increased income, I will be able to achieve this goal. So now The goal for you now is, how do you get an increased income? And you're like, well, I don't have this money yet. Maybe for you, you're like, I need to be able to earn, let's say, increase my income to maybe 10k, $10,000 to $30,000 monthly, or more than $30,000 monthly, right? So that's your goal. Let's assume that's your increased income goal that you have, between $10,000 to $30,000 monthly. And the question is, how do you achieve this? Because right now you are probably, so let's assume if you're CNA, it means you're earning something somewhere below, somewhere between $2,500, $2,500 to, let's say, $4,500 if you're a CNA, right? If you are RN, a nurse, a licensed nurse, then you're earning between, I'll bring this up here, you're earning between, let's say, 3,500 to up to, let's say, $8,000 a month, right? If you're a licensed nurse. But your goal is to go from here, right, up to earning between 10k to $30,000 a month. Now, the challenge is, for you, you thought that working independently, going independent or private will help you achieve this, which is true. Undoubtedly, that is correct. However, going independent from here up to this place is just step one in the entire process, in the entire journey. You've only achieved step one, which is going private. That is step one in the entire process. There are other steps that needs to come together for you to achieve this, because this is a journey. This is a journey. So you're struggling because the other steps that you need to put in place, you haven't. And what are the other steps that you need to put in place? I'm going to show it to you very shortly. Now, part of the reason why you're currently struggling is that, number one, is you're struggling with client acquisition because, number one, you don't even know who to attract. Who is the kind of client you want to work with? You know the services you provide, you know what you can do, but you don't know who specifically you want to work with. Number two is, you come from an institution, the care home agencies, home care services and all of that, or hospitals, where you are being paid for your time per hour. And so when you come out to work independently, your price structure is based on selling your time. And the problem with that is that if you go by the price structure of selling your time, you only have 24 hours in a day. There's only so much you can do. And because of that, there's only so much you can earn. And that is the reality. So at the end of the day, you realize that because you're selling your time, there is a cap, there's a limit to how much you can earn. That was the situation of Joanne. And that's probably what you're having right now. That's probably what you're dealing with right now. Another reason why Joanne was struggling is that Joanne was selling her care services as tasks, responsibilities, the things she can do, right? And that is very okay. But the problem with that is that that is applicable to the low-end clients, because they pay you for the tasks, the responsibility you perform. And I'm going to explain, don't worry, I'm going to explain what I mean by that. You're going to understand shortly. Now, another reason why she was struggling is that she's competing on price. She's in competition based on price with other care professionals, other caregivers, licensed nurses who are also performing the same responsibility, aka task, right, activities that she's offering as a service. She's competing on price. So she's not the only one who offers those services. There are several other care professionals who are offering those services, and they are charging almost the same price points, the same amount in pricing. And because almost everybody's charging the same amount, then it becomes a competition. And what does competition create? It creates race to the bottom, the cheapest price possible for the client to pay. You get it? Okay, great. Now, the last one, the last reason why she's been struggling is that because she doesn't know the clients to attract, who to work with, then she doesn't have a specific client acquisition system, a precise client acquisition system that helps her get clients. What does that mean? It means that she's basically hoping, she is always hoping to get clients. She doesn't have a predictable way of getting clients, which is why she's struggling to get here, to go from here to this place. She doesn't have a defined way that consistently and predictably help her to get clients. So she struggles. So even if she gets a client this month and the contract terminates in like 6 months or 8 months, whatever, depending on the duration of the contract, right? She doesn't know when next she's going to get another client. And she becomes stuck because she doesn't have a defined client acquisition system, or another word for it is client acquisition process or procedures that she uses to get clients that makes it predictable for clients to come to her. Make sense? Great. Now, how do you solve these problems? How do you solve all of these 5 problems I just highlighted that is making Joanne struggle? And for you, some of these problems are probably what you're dealing with right now. They're probably the reason why you're struggling to go from here to this place. So how do you solve the problem? We came up with a process, a 3-step process to solve the problem. Now remember, I said going from here where you are right now, your personal income, to achieve an increased income so that you can use your increased income to achieve the goal, your desires that you want to achieve. It's a journey. It's not a sudden leap. No, it's not. It's a process. And I did told you that you going private or working independently as a care professional is step 1 in the right direction. Step 1. So great. So what are the other steps? We came up with 3 steps, that 3 things, 3 components rather that you need. The first component is, number 1, you need a roadmap. You need a roadmap. What is a roadmap? A roadmap is a direction guide. A direction guide that takes you from where you are to where you want to be. So the good thing here is that you already know where you want to go. I mean, right now, if you don't know how much you want to have as an increased income based on your level, based on the goal you want to achieve, if you don't know what that figure is, right now, take a pause and write that figure right now in your notepad. Write the figure right now. You need to know what that figure is. Okay, let's take a step back. What is the outcome you want to achieve? Write it down. Write it down. Write it down. What is the outcome you want to achieve? I know you know it already, but please write it down. So you're not sharing it with anybody. I'm not interested to see it, right? But just write it down for yourself. What is the outcome you want to achieve? How much do you need? If it is monetary, do you need to achieve that desires? How much do you need to achieve that desire? So the amount you write down becomes the increased income that you want. So for you, it could be maybe I need $500,000. I need $1 million. Whatever amount it is, write it down. So the question now becomes, how do you achieve that amount? It means you need to have an increased income. And if you need to have an increased income, then what should your monthly income be that can help you achieve that amount in the space of, let's say, in the next 12 months, 3 years, and so on, 5 years, and so on? What should your monthly income be? So I am guessing that it should be between the range of $10,000 to $30,000 a month in income, end income, gross end income. That's what I'm guessing. It could be more than 30K, beautiful, amazing. So now, but let's go with this, between $10,000 to $30,000 a month. Now, if that is the case, then the question is, how do you achieve this? How do you go from where you are right now to this? You need a roadmap. Precisely, you need a map, right? So the map is your direction guide to go from here to here. Now, and I'll tell you the roadmap. I'll talk about it shortly. The second thing you need is, if you have a roadmap, you know the direction. What is the next thing do you think you need to embark on that journey? If you have the map already, you know where you want to go, you know the road that leads you there. What is the next thing that you need to start moving? Can you take a guess? Don't worry, I'll tell you. You need a vehicle. You need a vehicle. The vehicle is what helps you to move. And the type of vehicle will determine how fast you go. Don't worry, we've designed an amazing vehicle for you. I'll show you shortly, right? And then number three, you have the map, you have the vehicle. What's the next thing you need? Can you take a guess? Take a guess. Take a guess. Don't worry, I'll tell you. It's fine. You need the most important thing is action. Action. You need to take action. If you have the roadmap and you don't take action, you're not going nowhere. If you have the roadmap, you have the vehicle, and you do not take action, you're going nowhere. So you need the roadmap, you need the vehicle, and you need to make the vehicle move, which is action. Otherwise, you're going to stay stuck here. So let's get into these three. These three are exactly what we're going to be talking about in the rest of this video. Okay, great. So first of all, let's start with the roadmap. What is the roadmap? I understand that, yes, currently you are specialized in a niche in care. Maybe you specialize in dementia care, Parkinson's disease, or stroke, name it, right? Depending on the area, right? Or if you are a registered nurse, you supervise caregivers, you administer medications, IVs, and all of this stuff. Oh, amazing, beautiful, great, right? So you have your area of specialty. However, to go from here to here, to go from where you are right now to where you need to be, like I said, you need a roadmap. Now, what is a roadmap? Now, a roadmap is simply the ways that experienced care professionals like yourself can earn high income. I'll say that again. It is the ways that experienced nurses or caregivers can earn high income through private care. And these ways are 5. We came up with 5 ways that you can earn high income working privately as either a nurse or a caregiver, right? An experienced caregiver. 5 ways. What are the 5 ways? Number 1 is dedicated private living care. Number 2 is VIP private care concierge, and I'll explain each of these shortly. Number 3 is condition expert care. Number 4 is family care coordination, and number 5 is care blueprint consultation. Now, what is the dedicated private living care? I mean, living care, you already know what that means. You are experienced in this industry, right? So you already know what that means. It means that you're providing your care service living in the residence of the client, living with the client based on or depending on the schedule, based on what you signed in your contract. Maybe 3 days in a week, 5 days in a week, I will live in your house or be in your residence, and I'll to offer my services and so on and so forth. That's what living care literally is, right? It could be weekly, it could be monthly, and so on and so forth. The VIP private care concierge, simply you work with clients who want personalized premium level of care, of support, right? You work with clients who want premium level of care support. That's what the private VIP private care concierge literally means. It's like creating a custom care service for high net worth, high level family. So you're providing premium level of care specifically to a family, right? Condition expert care simply means that based on specific conditions, for example, dementia, Parkinson's, diabetes, and so on and so forth, right? But the thing about this model is that it is ideal for licensed nurses, not caregivers, because this requires a specific medical area of specialty. So it's ideal for licensed nurses, not CNAs, not PSW, not caregiver. Am I saying that caregivers cannot provide care? Of course, they can do that. They can do that, but the high side of it is mostly ideal for licensed nurses, registered nurses. Okay, great. The 4th one is the family care coordination. Family care coordination. This is also ideal for licensed nurses, RN, and so on and so forth, right? The 5th one is the care blueprint consultation. Also ideal for licensed nurses, registered nurses. Again, the CNAs, the PSW can do it, but it is ideal. It is mostly ideal for registered nurses, right? Because there is no barrier, there's no limit. Well, there's a limit, but it is for the caregivers. There's a barrier on how much they can do, because the caregivers, the CNA, PSW, they are considered. You already know this. You're considered as non-medical, right? The licensed nurses literally operates in the medical field with the supervision of a higher ranking care professional, maybe a doctor or dependent. Great. So now those are the 5 ways that you can earn premium income. You can go from here, from where you are right now, to achieving an increased income. Those are the 5 ways. Now, your first task is this. I know I've given you a task before. Do those ones, but now this is where your main exercise starts coming up. Which of these 5 that I have mentioned is best fit for your experience, your skill, and your experience? As a care professional, which of these 5 is best fit for your experience? Now, I want you to just write out which of these 5 is best fit for your experience, and then secondly, give me the reason why you think this. So if you choose, for example, dedicated private living care, then tell me why the dedicated private living care is the best fit for your skill and experience. I want to know why. So don't just tell me, yes, dedicated private living care is the best way for me, that I know that I can increase my income. I can start this movement. It is the roadmap. It is the road that I want to use. I want to walk through to increase my income. Tell me why. Okay? So number 1, I said what? Which one is best fit for you? Number 2, why is that the best fit for you? Okay, great. Now let's move on to, so that is the roadmap. Now let's move on to the vehicle. Let's talk about the vehicle. We've talked about the roadmaps. The roadmaps is 5 ways that you can increase your income, right? And I'm giving you the 5 ways and giving you your task. Now let's talk about the vehicle. So that is let's assume that is step 2 in this journey. So step 1 is going independent, which you already achieved. Step 2 is what? Choosing your roadmap. Right? See, we're going on the journey already. We're going. So step 3 now is, what is the vehicle? What is the vehicle? Now, this is the part where I really want to dwell. I really want to take some time, right, to talk about the vehicle, because this is where people struggle a lot. This is where Joanne was heavily struggling, right? So you are probably experiencing this right now in the vehicle, right? Your vehicle is probably crashed. You probably crashed your vehicle, or the engine is knocked off, and you're wondering, how do I fix this engine? This is frustrating me. And you're feeling pain, and you're feeling like maybe you shouldn't have even embarked on this journey in the first place, because you're feeling frustrated right now. Okay, let me help you solve the problem. Okay, so let's go. Now, the first thing here you need to do is, remember I said that we called the struggle and everything here that Joanne was experiencing, we call it the trap opportunity. It is a trap opportunity because yes, the opportunity there is that go private, go independent, which is true, is step 1. But what she doesn't realize is that she trapped herself in that opportunity by using the same operational model for client acquisition that she was using in the institution, that was being used in the institution where she's coming from, which is the hospital or the care home. She's using that in the private independent model. So in this case, we're going to flip the switch. I know that sounds a bit confusing, but don't worry, follow me. We're going to flip the switch. We're going to take her from the trap opportunity into what we call the freedom opportunity. Freedom opportunity. And this is the real deal. This is the real deal, the freedom opportunity. What is the freedom opportunity? The freedom opportunity is the vehicle that gives you the leverage to move from here to this place as quick as possible so that you can achieve your increased income. So how is that possible? How does the vehicle help me? Now, there are 5 major things that must be done. 5 things you must do, set in place to have an increased income, to go from here as quick as possible to have an increased income so that you can achieve your personal goal. So what are these? Number one is know who you want to work with, the client you want to work with. Remember, grand principle: the same client you're serving here are not going to be the same kind of client you serve here. Let me explain. In life, in every society, right, there are always 3 categories of people. 3 categories. So let's assume this is the society, the square, right, is there's a society. Now, the society is divided into 3 categories of people. Do you know what the categories are? So this is top 10%, 20%, and 70%. The low income, this is the mid-income earners, and then the high-income earners. In every society, we have the low-income earners, we have the middle-income earners, and then we have the high-income earners. In every society. However, if you look at this very well, you'll discover that in every society, the low-income earners are always more than the middle and the high-income earners put together. At least in some society, you will find 65% here, or at the very least 60%. This is 65. At the very least 60%. Well, in most economy, the low-income earners are much more than the mid and high-income earners. As a matter of fact, the high-income earners are way lesser. The number of high-income earners are way lesser than the mid-income and the low-income. You don't have to take my word for it. Please go online and check this. But the main point here is, which of these category of people do you want to serve? And I'm going to help you answer that question right now. Do you want to serve the low-income earners, which makes up the major population in the world, in the society, in your state, in your province, in your county? Do you want to serve the mid-income earners, or do you want to serve the high-income earners? Now, one thing you should know, that in every society, in your state, in your province, you have all 3 categories of people living there. Now, my recommendation to you is focus on serving the mid-income and the high-income earners. Do not, you don't have to take my recommendation, please. I'm not a financial expert, but as a business, as an entrepreneur, a business owner, someone who understands marketing and sales, which I'll explain to you shortly, my recommendation is avoid for now, not entirely. For now, avoid the low-income earners category. So the question is, why are you saying I should avoid the low-income earners? Now, the reason is this. Watch. You see, you are a solo entrepreneur. Now, this whole video is for experienced caregivers or licensed nurses who are working solo privately. You don't have an agency, right? So this is not, I'm not talking to agency owners here now, right? But if you were to be operating an agency, guess what? Any of these 3 is okay for you. The low income earners, mid income earners, high income earners. The question is, why is it okay for someone who's running an agency versus who is working solo? The reason is because the one operating an agency has people. She operates with an arithmetic of multiplication. She has other team members, caregivers and licensed nurses, possibly, that she has hired, that she can assign to go do work. So even though she has 24 hours as a business owner, her 24 hours is multiplied by other persons, team members that she has hired, the staff she has hired. So within 24 hours, she can serve 20 families, depending on the staff strength, the number of staff she has, right? She can serve 20 families, she can serve 50 families, 100 families, and so on and so forth. But for you, working solo, privately, independently, you're just one person. You have only 24 hours. You cannot be everywhere at the same time. You cannot be in 3 places at the same time within 24 hours, right? You're a spirit that lives in the body and have a soul, but physically you cannot be in 3 places at the same time. Even the spirit cannot be in 3 places at the same time. Anyway, so because of that limitation, If you use your time to focus on the low income earners, what it means is you're using your, so let's say out of 24 hours, you're working 8 to 12 hours per day. Let's just go with 8 hours. 12 hours is enormous, it's way too much. So let's say you're working 8 hours per day, then you're using your 8 hours to serve the low income earners who compete based on price, who will want to work with you, hire your service based on how cheap you are, because they have low income and they are trying to conserve how much they spend, how much they give out. So their pricing structure here is based on how cheap you are. So how cheap, how low your price is, not how cheap, how low your price is, so that they can afford it, right? So if you serve here, then you're going to get paid little with the same time. But if you focus, my recommendation, primary recommendation is focus on the high income. Now you're going to be like, the high income, well, yeah, because that's where the money is. And they're in your society. Yes, the same value you provide here is not the same value you provide up here. True. So the question is over here, which is why Joanne was struggling, because Joanne was focusing on the low income, and because our categories that she's focusing on is the low income, then she was selling, unknowingly, she was selling activities here. She was selling tasks, responsibilities to these people. These people, the high income people, think differently. They are not thinking in terms of tasks and responsibilities or activities as your service. They are thinking in terms of what? Solving a problem, which is number 2. You solve a problem. So they are not consigned, they are not paying you for the task and responsibility you perform. The high income earners, they are paying you specifically for the problem you solve. That is number 2. Number 1 is, who do you want to work with? Write it down. I want to know, who is this person you want to work with? Do you want to work with the low income, mid income, or high income? Whichever one you choose, that's fine for you, right? But to back it up, that's number 3 exercise. Who do you want to work with? Low income earners, mid income earners, or high income earners? Whichever one you're choosing, your number 4 exercise is, what is the profile of that person? What is the description, the profile description? So if you're choosing high income earners, for example, give me a profile description of that person. And here you can use ChatGPT, you can use AI, right? You go on AI and tell AI, an experienced licensed nurse, right? I've been working for XYZ years, and this is my area of specialty. I want to have an increased income. Put the amount that you want to achieve. Maybe let's say $15,000 a month, right? And I want to offer my service. Now, who do you think I should offer my service to? Should it be the low income, mid income, or high income? And then whichever one you recommend to me, I want you to give me the profile description of that person. I just give you a prompt. If you put that prompt on ChatGPT or Cloud or any AI, or even on Google AI, right? It will give you the profile. It will give you a summary of the profile of who that person is. I want you to take it down. I want you to write it down. So that is your number 4 exercise. I just told you how to do it. Use AI. It's easy. Okay, great. So that's your number 4. Then number 5, let's move on. So we're talking about the freedom opportunity, and I said the who, which I just explained. Now, if to serve the premium client, which is the high income earners, the high income earners think in terms of problem solving, solutions, because everyone has a problem. Oh, I see. Everyone has a problem, regardless of the category. The low income have a problem, the mid income have a problem, the high income, everyone have a problem. As a matter of fact, listen, there will always be problem in this world. I know that sounds kind of, what are you talking about? It's the truth. There will always be problem in this world, because the day problem goes away completely, we will start getting broke. Because the only way we make money and have increased money, the only way we can become millionaires and billionaires and trillionaires is by solving problems for people, for the society. That's where money comes from. That's where value comes from. You give value to get value, and your value must be solving problems. So there will always be problems, and you get value from solving people's problems. So there will always be problems in the society. Don't pray that there won't be problems. There will always be problems. You will always have problems and you will always need solution. And when people help you solve your problem, you pay them. And same thing. So you stay on the other side as well of helping other people solve their problem. You shouldn't be the only person whose problem that is being solved. Become a problem solver yourself. Use your skill and your experience as a care professional to solve people's problems. Focus on the high income problem. So what are the problems that the high income earners needs to solve? Ask ChatGPT. He's going to tell you based on your area of specialty in terms of dedicated private living care, if you're using dedicated private living care as your roadmap to get to where you are. For you, it could be one of the other five, which is why I said pick which one of those five you want to use. Put it on ChatGPT. I'm in the line of dedicated private living care. My area of specialty as a care professional is dementia, Parkinson, diabetes, whatever it is. What problem do you think they have that I can solve using dedicated private living care? If you give this prompt to ChatGPT, he will give you the problem that these high income earners already have that you can help them solve with your skill and your experience. It is not the problem that you want to solve for them. It is the problem that they already have, the pain, the frustration that they are already dealing with. So it's not you proposing solution to them, it is them in need of the solution because they are dealing with a problem. The problem is frustrating them. The problem is causing them pain. And because they are high income earners, they are ready to spend money to solve the problem. Does it make sense? Because the high income earners think in such a way that they rather spend money to save time so that they can use that time to achieve more better results than to spend time to save money. The low income earners will rather spend time to save money. The high income earners will spend money to save time. Your responsibility is to position yourself before the high income earner to see you as the one who can help them solve the problem they are dealing with that they need relief from, so they will pay you to retrieve the time. They will pay you to buy back time so that they can use that time, which is the relief, to go achieve more. Because to them, time is greater than money. I know there's the saying that time is money. Time is not money. Time is greater than money. You can always get money back if you give it out, but you cannot get time back once it's gone. And the high income earners understands that. And based on that ideology, they always want to save time or use time to achieve way more higher responsibilities and tasks that will give them better output, increase their wealth, than spending that time doing little stuff that will hold them back. That's where you come in. Your responsibility is to solve their problems so that they can have more time, more relief, peace of mind to go do the higher stuff that they want to do so that they can achieve more. And out of the more that they are achieving, they are just giving you like less than 1% of what they are achieving. Which brings me to number 3. Here is outcome. When you solve this problem for them, what is the outcome and benefit that they will get, the high income earners will get when you solve this problem for them? What is the outcome they will get? What is the outcome? Remember, these high income earners are dealing with this problem and they need solution to the problem. So you are not just proposing a solution, they already know the solution they want to this problem that they are dealing with. So what is the outcome? When you solve that problem, what is the outcome? For them, they know what the outcome is. Oh yes, let me tell you, they already know. They are smart people. They are very intelligent people. They know what the outcome is. But for them to know if you're the right person that deserves the contract, you need to be clear about what the outcome is. And when you're communicating with them, you communicate your solution based on outcome. You communicate your service rather based on the outcome. And you go one step further and translate that outcome to the benefits that they will get. Oh, I know I'm speaking some things right now, but I just hope you're getting this. I hope you're getting this because this is where the value is. This is how you go from here to an increased income. The money is in the high income, but to make these high income earners to pay you that money, to give you that money, first you must know who they are, know where to find them, their profile. You must know who know their profile so that you know where to find them, right? Know the problem they are dealing with that they want to solve. Know the outcome that solving that problem would produce and the benefits, and communicating it to them in such a way that they see you're like, did you know me from somewhere before? How did you know that this is the solution I'm looking for? Then you become inevitably the person they want to work with. Inevitably. You know what that does for you? That eliminates competition that Joanne was dealing with based on pricing, working with low income earners. It eliminates competition. You become a king or queen in your own league. And to these people, no amount is too high to pay to have peace of mind, to save time so that they can use the peace of mind and time to achieve better and higher results. So while the outcome you're helping them achieve, it could be peace of mind, it could be anything, and they're using that outcome to achieve a greater benefit. If you want to put that in a measurable amount, let's say they're achieving hundreds of thousands of dollars because now they have peace of mind, they are able to work effectively, and because they work effectively, they're able to achieve profit in their business or as a management team member in their workplace or wherever. They achieve hundreds of thousands of dollars per month, and out of that hundreds of thousands of dollars they're achieving per month or per year, they are paying you $10,000 per month for your service, or paying you $15K or $30K, or maybe paying you $2,000 per day for your living care service. Is this making sense? Is this making the money to them is not the problem, because within 24 hours they can make thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars with what they do when they have peace of mind and everything is calm at home and everything is going on well. Now, when you know what the outcome is, now let's get into the real money business now. Based on the outcome, you set your price structure, the amount you want to charge for your service, for the outcome you're going to be delivering. So based on the outcome, you set your price. Now, note this. When Joanne was struggling, Joanne was competing on price, and her price was based on what? Time. Was set based on the time she's putting to do the work, the task and responsibilities. So two major factors determines Joanne's type here. One, the responsibilities or tasks she's performing. Number two, the time she's using to perform those responsibilities. Over here, with the high income earners, you are not focusing on tasks or time. You're focusing on your pricing is based on the outcome that you're solving, based on the problem you're solving, the outcome. So watch, because this is where it becomes really, really juicy. If the outcome, and you must do one thing, you must be able to measure that outcome in terms of money. So if the outcome is peace of mind, that's why you need to know the profile of the person. If the outcome is peace of mind and you know the profile of the person, so if this person is a CEO, for example, or a high-level management member in a corporate institution or Fortune 500, S&Ps, whatever, right? Then it means that if this person has peace of mind, this person will be able to work. Now, what is the average, or what is the range or the average amount that high-level management team member in a high corporate Fortune 500 company makes per month? If you ask ChatGPT will give you the answer. So you take that, and that becomes the result, the benefit you're helping this person to achieve per month. And then you now say, okay, wow, so if I perform this, if I solve this problem, I produce this outcome helps this person achieve this benefit, XYZ amount of money per month, because now you're measuring it. And then you go like, so how much does this outcome, this benefit that this person is getting, how much is this benefit worth? You realize that even when you ask for $10,000 per month for this benefit you're producing, 10K is cheap. Sorry, I don't like to use the word cheap. It is low price. Extremely low price. And that's how you hit your 30K per month. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. That's how. So your price, when you're working with high income earners, is not based on the task or responsibility or time. It is based on the outcome. Now that outcome, you can now break it down into, I will deliver this outcome every day. So you're going to pay me per day. This is my retainer fee for helping you to deliver this outcome. Per day, I want $2,000. It could be weekly. Per week, I want $4,000 or $6,000. It could be monthly retainer and say per month for helping you to solve this problem and giving you this benefit, I want $15,000. So watch what I am doing here. I am not saying for performing this responsibility, for doing this task and for spending XYZ number of hours. I'm saying for helping you solve this problem and creating this outcome, and this is how much you're going to be paying me. You see, you have flipped the switch. You're now charging based on outcome, not based on time or activity. You speak from a place of value, outcome. Because now the high income earners on his own now sees the benefit. I'm like, well, that's true. When I achieve this benefit is nothing compared to what this person is asking me to pay. But you must be able to communicate it rightly. That's another angle entirely. The communication structure, the framework, how you communicate it. There are two major things you need. You need, number one, to attract these high income earners, which I'll get to. You need to know how to communicate to these high income earners so that they see this value. And number three, you need to know how to convert them, to use the conversation, the communication to convert them to say yes to you and pay you. Those three things are very important, but I'm not going to go into those ones yet. So this is number one. I said the who. I've given you the tax on that. Number two, the problem. I've given you the tax, the exercise on that. Number three, I said the outcome, right? What is the outcome that you want to produce? I need you to write it down. I need you to provide the answers to it. What is the outcome? And number four is what is the price? I need you to tell me what is the amount. What is the amount? Now, what is the amount structure and what is the deliverable structure as well? Are you going to be, do you want to charge? What is your pricing structure? For example, are you charging based on weekly, hourly, monthly, retainer? I will recommend to you, don't go by hour. Avoid hourly rates. See, take my recommendation, please. Hourly rate works with low income earners. With high income earners, don't go by hourly rate because you will literally be putting yourself in the trap opportunity again. Don't go by hourly rate. It will lock you into a corner. Go by retainer. Yes, there are several others, but one among the best that you can go with is retainer. Don't go on hourly rate. So you can do retainer per day, you can do retainer per week or per month. Retainer structure is always good. So what structure? Retainer, is it per day, is it per month in terms of delivery? When you deliver those offers, right? You deliver your service to solve this problem and create an outcome, right? Outcome and benefit, in bracket, benefit. Make sense? Great. Now the last one is when you know your price and your price structure and all of that, write it down in your tax, please. Write it down, very important. When you know your price and your price structure, then the final one is you have all of this in place, but the main thing is how do you get this person to come to you? It's called your client. I like to call it premium client acquisition, premium client acquisition system. Acquisition system. I'll write it here. SYSTEM. Do you have your premium client acquisition system? What is the premium client acquisition system? The premium client acquisition system is a structural method that you use, that you've developed, you've set in place and execute upon to predictably attract the high income earners to you always. That is your client acquisition, premium client acquisition system. That is what Joanne did not have. That's why she was struggling heavily. First, she didn't even know who she wants to work with. Just anybody. So you post sporadically on social media, on Facebook, set up an account on elderlycare.com, on Nextdoor, and hoping that someone will contact you. And then even if they do, you're competing on price. Over here with the freedom opportunity, You build a premium client acquisition system that you execute upon that predictably and consistently attracts high income earners to you. So my recommendation to you, my exercise to you on this is, do you have a premium client acquisition system? Write it down. Yes, or the answer to that is either yes or no. Do you have a premium client acquisition system? Yes or no. The next question follow from that is, do you, if your answer is no, do you want to have a premium client acquisition system? Yes or no. Write it down. If you already have a premium client acquisition system, my question to you is it working? Yes or no? Is it working? If the answer is no, then do you want to improve on it and make it work? Do you want to fix it and make it work? Your answer should be yes or no for that. Now, depending on what your answer is, the next thing you need to do, and this is where we're wrapping up, is I need you to book your clarity call. Now, by the time you've gotten to this part now, the calendar part, there's a calendar that has appeared below this video on this page, right? And that calendar is what you use to book your clarity call, and it's free, completely free. So go ahead, pick a date right now, right? Pick a date amongst the dates on the calendar. We're usually fully booked because you're not the only one seeing this video. Trust me, there are hundreds of people who are also seeing this video just the same way you're seeing it, and it's completely free. So pick a date quickly, as soon as possible. Book your clarity call where we'll review your response to all of the exercises I just gave to you, and most importantly, we will refine it, make it better for you, and then lastly, recommend the best next action that you would take as implementation to go from here where you are to an increased income. And remember, I said that this is the vehicle that we've created. The last thing you need is the action, right? The action. The last thing you need is the action, which is the implementation to make you working as an independent caregiver, having a roadmap, having the vehicle, and now taking action on this whole system so that you can move from here to this place. So what you need to do now is, so that we can work on the action part for you, that's going to be in the clarity call. The calendar below this, just pick a date, fill your name and your information and any other information that is required of you in the calendar, book your date, and we will see you on the clarity call. Please feel free to recommend this video to other experienced caregivers or care professionals, nurses, licensed nurses, RN, and so on and so forth in your community that you know. Recommend this to them. Our goal is to help as many people as possible to go from where they are to where they need to be in terms of using their skill and their experience in their career as care professionals to have increased income and better their life. Remember, scroll down, book your session, and I'll see you in the clarity call. Cheers.